Okay, so a lot of people have asked just exactly how do you get your transfers on to your pumpkin, and well, I print them on tinfoil. As you can see, it's just regular household tinfoil. There's a matte side and a shiny side. I printed on the matte side by gluing the shiny side to a piece of paper at the very edge, and that gets pulled into the printer. And so sometimes I'm left with these like black lines from the toner. Oh, it has to be a toner. It cannot be an inkjet printer because it won't stick. So essentially what I do is I'll get it printed onto the tinfoil. Now this is a very intricate design that I'm going to be plotting here. I'm actually in the dotting stage. This is the tool that I use to poke holes. It's just a sewing needle and an X-Acto knife handle through all the lightest areas. And so, as you can see, there's going to be a lot of weird patterns by the time I'm done. Tried to not wrinkle it there, but I ended up having to. That's okay. That get blocked out. Now, you can't have the light directly on the tinfoil because that's what happens. It gets washed out. You can't see anything, so I shine my light on the ceiling. And I get this reflective glow around the room, and it actually picks everything up really nice, and I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. So once this stage is done, I peel it off, and I'm left with what I call a star field, and that, in conjunction with my poked design, I interpret what parts come out first, the lightest, brightest parts, and some of the mid-tones, and I'll even try to take some of my darker tones. Since I know what I'm doing, I know which tones are what, I'm looking at the design, and I have a printout of the picture with a light behind it, so I can actually see what's going on, and I have a desaturated picture on my monitor, so if I can't interpret a certain zone, I have 1000% clarity of what I'm looking at, and I go from there. The blocking stage will usually determine my refining stage. So as long as if I spend about a half hour to an hour dotting here, I'll spend about 4 hours or 5 hours on the design. So all those kinds of things. And yeah, really strange process. I know that nobody does this. The reason why I use tinfoil is because I started to use more intricate designs, and in 2015 when I did Lucy Weston Raw from Bram Stoker's Dracula, I printed it on just regular printer paper, and I had to sit there and poke about a square inch and then hit it with a hair dryer so that I wouldn't rip the design, shred it, because it was just pouring out water, and I needed something waterproof to print on, and this works. But once you start dotting, you cannot stop dotting. I mean, I know I'm talking here for a minute, but you come back, like leave it for the night and come back the next day, you will never get that tinfoil off without destroying the design. So that's happened to me before. Once you start dotting, you can't stop. So I'm going to continue dotting, and yeah, that's how I do it. This one's pretty intricate. There's a lot of detail here. I've spent the last maybe hour dotting, just dotting, and that gives me an indication that there will be a lot of refining to do, because all I do is block out, or I dot out the brightest areas, or areas that needed defined from the area next to it. Once all the brightest areas are dotted, tattooed, which shows up really well because the toner gets pushed into each poke, I peel this off and kind of use it as a star field, is what I call it. And the constellations, I have to match up the star field to the constellations on the pumpkin. is what I'm doing. That's the resolving and the refining stage. And then once I'm ready to carve, this is the tool that I use to actually carve with. So what I've done is I've taken a loop, kind of turned it into a teardrop shape, and put two facets on either side of the teardrop shape. And when you do that on a radius, it leaves behind essentially this like little hook that kind of grips the pumpkin fibers really well, and you're able to see the hook shape that's left behind. You're able to draw these really smooth lines with these two adjacent razor's edges. So anyway, that's how I do it. Typical old tools from just like a Michael's or Joann's, if you can find one of those anymore. Find it online probably for $5 or so. I mean, pack of sewing needles and an X-Acto knife handle. I'll make a tutorial on how to print on tinfoil sometime in the near future. Alright, so this is what it looks like once it's off the pumpkin. Doesn't really look like much, and you can kind of tell what's going on if you know what you're looking at. This one in particular has a lot of shit going on. Very intricate design. So all I've done is highlight the lightest areas and any areas that need distinction from the area adjacent to it. And what this will do, my little star field here is my star map, star field, is used in conjunction with the constellations left behind. Now, I can decipher what I'm looking at by aligning the dots and finding where all the brightest areas are taken away. And once I block those things out, I can then take the image that I'm transferring, empty out the gourd, put the light in, stare at this the whole time, and make it look like that. Draw the rest of the fucking owl.